what's good, Commanders fans, and happy Friday 13th. Hope everybody has a great weekend this weekend. Today's video is brought to you by BetUS. Let's get into the preview, guys. This is a game where we got to take care of business, and honestly, it's not going to be a lot of keys to victory, man. This is a simple game plan. It really is. Just take care of business against a backup quarterback and a bunch of in an offense that is riddled with injuries. I mean, it is what it is. We're the better team. And we just have to take care of business and not play with the food that's on our plate. I know I talked about the Cowboys game, and everybody's kind of pushing back on me saying that, they didn't have a bye week for, 11, 12, 13 weeks, and it's a divisional game. I get all that. I hear all that. But at the same time, just because it's not a divisional game doesn't mean that, we go out there and lay an egg and we don't move the football and we don't take advantage of opportunities that the Saints will give us or that Jake Hayner is going to give us. Or if we play terrible on special teams like we did against the Cowboys, giving up a kick return and whatnot, doesn't mean that we can't lose this game. So all I'm saying is that, hey, the Dallas loss was a wake-up call to me. I think it was a learning lesson, not like a learning lesson, but just kind of like, hey, we can lose to a backup quarterback. You just never know any given Sunday type of thing. So that's what I'm saying. Just don't take this team lightly at all. We have to put foot on necks from the start, from the jump, smell blood, go for the kill, belt to what in their house, in their stadium. That's what we got to do from the jump. And that really could be the keys to victory right there and just finish it off there. But we're going to do the injury report, storylines. So storylines, I'll get those. Let's talk about that real quick. So there's a lot of storylines. Chase Young. This is our first game playing against Chase Young since he has left the team or has been traded. And he's actually playing decent football. He's getting a lot of pressures. He's doing what he usually does. He gets a lot of pressures, but he just doesn't get home. So he has 3.5 sacks on the season, which is basically on brand for what he's done other than the rookie season where he went off as a rookie of the year. He's around 3.5, 5.5 sacks, like stuff like that. So he had a good game against the Giants. He had a bunch of pressures. So Chase Young, he's going to be motivated, and I would run right at him. If I was Jaden, I would run right at him. If I was B-Rob, I would run right at him. Or Cliff, run right at Chase Young. B-Rob, Jaden, Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy Nichols, whoever, go right at Chase Young. And this should be a fun game, watching Brandon Coleman go up against him, Cornelius Lucas, whoever, if they split the snaps and whatnot. But, Chase Young, unfortunately, I hate to call him a bust. I hate to call players a bust, but he was. It's unfortunate because he's from PG County. Went to the math of the whole storyline, supposed to be a generational talent, just never panned out, tore his ACL. The whole OTAs thing, Family Feud, and all that stuff. I mean, I could go down the whole timeline and storyline about Chase Young, and I root for Chase Young. I really do. I want to see him do well and be successful. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Chase Young, but it is something. I mean, he was the second pick of the draft. I mean, he was supposed to be generational. Could have drafted a quarterback. Could have got Tua, other guys, Justin Herbert. And it's just unfortunate that the second pick of the draft was traded away. And he was supposed to be generational and change the trajectory of this franchise. Todd McShay said he was supposed to be better than both Bosa brothers. And him and Ron Rivera just didn't see eye to eye. He was supposed to, I remember him and Montez said they were going to break the sack record. And that never happened. So, and Chase Young, he really is about his brand. He is. He's about his brand. And I told you guys what I heard about through the grapevine last year about him wanting to be traded before the trade deadline and about the neck and the stinger and things like that. So I won't go into that too much. But, yes, we will be playing against Chase Young. Marshon Lattimore with his homecoming game. I'm not going to call it a revenge game, but Marshon Lattimore is finally playing football in a Commander jersey, so that's good to see. Finally, we waited about 4 to 5 weeks, so it's about darn time. He will be playing against the Saints in a homecoming game, so I'm excited, man, to see him make that impact that we've been waiting for. The big trade that Adam Peters made using that 3rd-round pick. And he's supposed to be locking people down, man. And he's supposed to be that final chess piece. Not the final piece, but basically, that final chess piece this year to, go up against A.J. Brown, to go up against Darnell Mooney and Drake London. There's going to be Marcus Valdez-Scantling on Sunday, who's not a number 1 receiver, but he's going to be their number 1 receiver. And just other teams that we may play in the playoffs, Probably we'll see the Eagles in the first round, or we might see with the Vikings or the Bucks or whoever. And we need him to go out there and be that shutdown corner. So I'm excited that he's finally going to play. Other storylines, Jaden played for LSU, so he's going back to Louisiana, so that's cool. kind of a homecoming game for him in a sense. John Ridgeway, we traded him away. And Marcus Valdez-Scantling, he chose the Saints over us. So that is intriguing because Adam Peters had interest. So instead of getting KJ Osborne, we could have just ended up with Marcus Valdez-Scantling. And Marcus Valdez-Scantling has played pretty well with Derek Carr. He has been a good deep threat. So those are the narratives right there. They did fire the Saints fire their coach. They got Dan Rizzi right now, who's giving them some motivation. We've seen him yell at guys on the sideline. He was yelling at the punter for punting to the Giants punt returner, and that was a penalty. They got called back, but he was still yelling at the punter. So we see how enthusiastic and how intense Dan Rizzi is. So all right. So before we get to keys to victory here, real quick. Oh, and then I'll talk about captains. Keys to we want to give a quick shout out to BetUS. Make sure you sign up using BetUS. They have 150% deposit match up to $2,000 for first-time users using promo code YouTube150. Second and third time users, you get 125% deposit bonus match up to $2,000 using promo code YouTube150. And the play of the day that I got for this game is Brian Robinson. Anytime touchdown score is -143 on BetUS. 2 touchdowns is +350. So I would do 1 and 2. I would put a wager in for -143 with the 1 touchdown, and then 2 touchdowns +350 on BetUS. You look at the teams that they played. J.K. Dobbins scored a touchdown against the Saints. Bucky Irving scored a touchdown against the Saints. Bijan Robinson scored 2 touchdowns against the Saints. Kyron Williams scored a touchdown against the Saints. Chuba Hubbard scored 2 touchdowns against the Saints. Javonte Williams scored 2 touchdowns against the Saints. And J.K. Dobbins scored a touchdown against the Saints. So I sound like a broken record, but I mean, that's just showing the statistics backing up the play of the day that I have against the Saints. And Kareem Hunt had 1 touchdown as well. So every running back has scored a touchdown against the Saints. Point blank, period. All right. So keys to victory here. So captains are going to be, where did it go? Captains are they're going to be Trent Scott, Johnny Newton, and Cornelius Lucas. Those are the 3 captains for the game against the New Orleans Saints. Cornelius Lucas or Trent Scott is getting his degree, his master's degree at Grambling State, so that's why Dan Quinn chose him. So that makes sense. That's pretty cool by Dan Quinn doing that. All right, keys to victory. We'll make this quick. I wanted to make this a 10-minute video. Let's see if we can get it done in 3 minutes. Run the football. Run and run and run again. B-Rob, Chris Rodriguez, Jeremy McNichols, Jaden Daniels being involved in the run game. The Saints are dead last in yards per carry allowed, with giving up 5 yards per carry. They have a 56.4 run defense grade over the last month, which is 25th in the NFL. The Saints defense against running inside the tackles is ranked 29th. Their overall rush efficiency is 29th. Red zone rushing defense 30th. Design runs defense against 29th. Shotgun runs defense against 28th. Outside tackle rush runs against 22nd. And quarterback scrambles against 27th. They let Bo Nix run for 75 yards on the ground. They let Justin Herbert have a 33-yard run as well. So quarterbacks run very well against them, and that just tailors to Jaden's game. So Jaden should have a good game. B-Rob should have a good game. The run game as a whole. This should be a game where we should be able to rest B-Rob in that 4th quarter like we did against the Titans. Let's see here. Fast start. I talked about that in the beginning of the video. Run the ball. Jaden uses your legs. Talked about that. Which receiver will emerge without Noah Brown? Is going to be Diami. It's going to be Alameda. It's going to be KJ Osborne. KJ Osborne is going to be active. He is going to play. So I'm excited to see what he does. He's not going to know the playbook, but hey, in the red zone, can we use him as a touchdown target, because he had 7 touchdowns that one year. He had 5 another year, and then he had 3 touchdowns. So he does have a knack of getting into the end zone. And then he had 1 touchdown with the Patriots this year. So he has a knack of finishing plays, finishing drives, and getting into the end zone. So I do want to see them use him in the red zone. Who else? Cliff, get creative. Move Terry around. Left side, right side, slot. Move him around. Get him the football. Get him involved often and early. We are a better team when Terry gets involved. You see what happened with the Titans. In the Titans game, Terry got involved, and we got him the football, and we won 42-19. Be aggressive on 4th downs. Let's put foot on necks. Belt to A. Don't be conservative on 4th downs, in my opinion. I would be aggressive on 4th downs. If it's 4 and 3, I know it's a lesser team, so you may disagree with me because we can win this game with 20 points. I feel like, so you may not have to be super aggressive and go for it on 4th downs. But if you want to put a team away, I would go for it on 4th downs and try to score touchdowns and not field goals. All right, that's about it for the offense, really. I mean, our offensive line should win the matchup, in my opinion. I know they got good guys like Cam Jordan, and they do have some decent pass rushers. They got the Honey Badger, and they have some decent players on the defensive side of the ball. They just struggled this year so far. Demario Davis. Defense, keep it simple. Slow down Alvin Kamara. Slow down Kendre Miller. Alvin Kamara has not scored a touchdown in 7 games. So I'm going to put a jinx on him. I'm going to probably put an anytime touchdown wager on Alvin Kamara to jinx him and make sure he doesn't score a touchdown. So slow down Alvin Kamara. Slow down the run game. Make Jake Haener beat you. Look at the pictures that Jake Haener took. I'm not going to say anything controversial, but look at the pictures that he took like he was a model or something. He looked like he was a quarterback out of Blue Mountain State. That's what he looked like. So he looks crazy, and it would be disrespectful to the game of football to lose to somebody who was posing like that in the pictures like Jake Haener as a model. So we got to shut him down. Force a turnover ball is life. Force a fumble, force a turnover, get an interception, catch interceptions. Marshon Lattimore, it would be great to see him get an interception in his homecoming game or a pick six. That would be awesome to see him do that. And special teams, man. Zane Gonzalez, you got to make your kicks. You're in a dome. There's no wind, there's no snow, no rain, none of that. You're in a dome. You're in a great environment to kick the football. So there should be no excuses for missing a 45, 47-yard kick. He should really make a 50-yard kick as well. Challenges, timeouts, 2-point conversions, clock management, analytics. Dan Quinn has been fine so far, except for the Dallas game challenging that one play. Other than that, Dan Quinn's he's been solid. Sometimes he's been conservative when he should go for it on 4th down. Sometimes he's been too aggressive when he should kick the field goal, like the Eagles game where we should have just kicked it instead of going for it on 4th and 3. So he just has to, realize the flow of the game and decision making, which I think he's done a great job so far. Olamide Zaccheaus, gotta catch the football, gotta catch the punts, no muff punts, no anything, no making mistakes, no shooting yourself in the foot, basically. And that's really it, guys. Like I said, it's a simple game plan. Doesn't really need to be complex. Run the football. Jaden turn up. Terry, get the ball to Terry. And which receiver is going to step up? Is it going to be Luke McCaffrey? Is it going to be Diami? Is it going to be Olamide? Is it going to be Zach Ertz? Is it going to be Ben Sinnott? James Crowder, is he going to play? So that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Keep this simple. And let's go to 9-4, 9-5. Control our own destiny. The Rams won, but we own the tiebreaker against the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and there's another team we own, the Packers. So we control our own destiny, guys. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I have us winning 24-10. I have us winning 24-10. 24-10. Could be worse than that, but I have us winning 24-10. As always, have a great weekend. Shout out to BetUS. Have a great weekend. Peace.